Thinking we could use I don't even know what like a tablet for chatting, interacting with the audience.
Oh yeah,
Or
I should probably
something.
put up TweetDeck on my tab. We'll do that next time.
I'm a little leery about that because
Or using the Ustream chat.
even that, just because I'm a little leery about it because
They can't see it.
Well, not that not only
the people who are listening can't see it.
can't interact with it, and sometimes like trying to pay attention to what people are chatting takes you totally off of.
Yeah.
It's almost better to have it pre-formulated. Hi, and welcome to the SEO podcast, Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing.
I think you got it right that time.
Yes. My name is Chris Burris, owner of eWebStyle.
I am Charles Lewis, your internet marketing specialist.
Don't forget, we are your friendly local neighborhood top position snatchers. And where our mantra is,
Don't be a dish.
Yeah. Do not. That's not good. This is podcast number 117. You are listening to the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes. If you're listening, you probably know what that means. And if you don't know what that means, that stands for search engine optimization.
Yeah.
Let me remind you, there is another podcast. I'll get to that in a second. Ooh, nice teaser, huh?
Mm-hmm.
They'll at least listen for 10 more seconds.
Yeah.
As always, we have a tip from our previous podcast. What time is it? All right. And our tip is follow SEO best practices. And segue into we have another podcast.
Yes.
It's called The Unknown Secrets of Website Analysis, SEO.
Yeah, we might need to change that title.
Yeah.
SEO, Search Engine Visitor Optimization.
Rule of thumb: do not have blank stare in middle of title. Just a good rule.
Yeah,
we should put that as our tip for next one.
Yeah, get your title right. Which we'll talk about that later in the video marketer.
Yeah. So we have a SEO podcast. All you have to do is go to our website e-webstyle.com, and fill out the form on the right side. We've got quite a few submissions, so we'll be knocking out a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't officially into a video podcast yet. We haven't got it on iTunes or whatever. Feel free to find it on our Ustream.tv. Yeah, Ustream.tv, and then search for eWebStyle. And we've got a lot of them on our YouTube account, which is youtube.com/eWebStyle.
Yep, and debating on Facebook.
Yeah.
Just probably want to get some clearance from the people before we just really put it.
Yeah, that's true. And maybe put one of the 3 we do a week out there as a little teaser. I think that's a really good idea. We already did the tip from last one. Let me be like a talk show host.
That's what my guy Mike does at HubSpot. They read them and they check them when it's done with them.
Well, then, all right. You don't want to be copying anyone. You are listening to this. We actually do broadcast a video of this podcast live on Friday mornings. It's about 10:30ish here. Soon we'll be starting back up at our 9:50. Next week we'll be back to 9:15
next week
Central Standard Time. Mm-hmm. Friday mornings. Just go to e-webstyle.com/SEO podcast, and you'll be able to see the podcast right there. We know that Dean Calhoun is watching right now because he commented on our fire extinguisher, says that he likes it because we had our graphics guy complaining about it. Actually, we appreciate that, Nicholas.
It's freezing. Dean, text me if your picture's freezing up.
Yeah, I think it does little weird stuff here and then works properly online, hopefully. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll see. Let's see, what else do I have? All right, a little bit of news. We've got, I don't even know if this is news. I just thought it was really, really, really cool. Google Plus and YouTube, since they are owned by Google, you can now watch a video, and then, sometimes you want your buddies to see it, so you send them a link, and maybe they never get around to it or whatever. Now you can interrupt their day, bring them into a Google Hangout, and watch the video together. So that was a situation where Charles could actually pause it and go back.
Mm-hmm.
I could hit play or pause it.
And you know what else you can do to that? Because you initiated that from the Google Hangout.
Right.
I believe.
No, it was I did it from YouTube.
From YouTube. Okay,
yeah.
I was going to say, you can do it from the YouTube page.
Yeah, under the video, there's a share button. That opens a little section, and over there, start a Hangout. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's really cool.
Speaking of Hangouts, anybody who's listening or watching, hit us on G+. Matter of fact, if you go to our podcast page, down beneath the podcast, you'll see a link to my Google profile. Add me, because eventually we might hang out when we do the next podcast. And so I like to be able to tag you and let you know that we're about to start. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Then we could do it with the big screen and all the people, and like, who's that?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we get to meet some of the people in, like in Greece.
Last week we had a guy from Saudi Arabia or somewhere.
Yeah, I don't remember. We got Saudi Arabia. We've got the other Arabia. This was interesting. I found this news. It was Google Apps, some interesting information about Android apps, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The top 50 apps. How much time spent on apps do you think the top 50 apps account for?
How much time
spent
on
percentage
apps
time. Like, let's see.
The top 50 apps account for?
So the 50,
probably 70-80% of the time?
It's 61,
61?
which is still way up there because you think
that's high. It's more than half.
There's like thousands, like tens, maybe even 100,000 apps, and 50 of them get 61% of the time on the actual application.
Did it mention what the top 50 app was?
It didn't, and I'm sure Angry Birds is one of them.
Most likely.
Because I've spent like way more than the time that I've spent more than the Geno time limit on
Angry Birds.
Angry Birds. So speaking of the Geno time limit, we're going to totally ignore it today. And if you're not familiar with the Geno time limit, then you actually need to go back and listen to our podcast. This is 117. Go back and start at 1. There's great information. I don't know where the Geno time limit came into it.
Yeah, like number 40 something probably.
Yeah. And if anybody finds the original Geno time limit podcast number, send it to us.
So that you'll get a link for that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We are excited. I'm excited. No, I can erase a tear today. All right. Remember we talked about a tear, a tear tattoo when we don't get reviews. We got 2 reviews on iTunes. Simple process.
Yeah.
Go on to iTunes, create an account, write a review.
Yeah.
And then let us know.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
Real talk.
And so the first one we've got here is from, the title is Best SEO Podcast Ever. It's by San Fran Jason.
San Fran Jason. I bet he's from San Francisco.
I bet. Or Saudi Arabia. One or the other. These guys take what could be a dry subject in the hands of other podcasts, and he didn't mention any names, and make it
awesome.
And make it entertaining. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Well, we are recording. Go ahead and click that green bar on the top.
This one?
Yeah. And then you can hit start record again. We are recording this for the audio, so at least that's going out. And he says, makes it entertaining as well as truly informative. Make it extra fun by having a drink every time they say, that's what's up. I think that's a great idea. We've just turned SEO podcasts into a drinking game. That was my dream. As I was growing up, I was like, I want to take a dry subject and turn it into
Make it fun and entertaining, and then let people get drunk off.
The next one is a must-listen-to SEO podcast by Taco Manny.
Taco? Bet he like taco.
I bet he... or Saudi Arabian food. At first, I was not sure about this podcast, but after listening to a few episodes, I was hooked. There's always great information and at least one SEO tip each podcast that I can start using right away. Cool. I just redid my company website and used what I learned from these guys, and I'm ranking for lots of keywords on those on the first page.
What's up?
Yeah. There's a drink. I got to the point where I started looking for the shows on iTunes starting Friday afternoon. Now I can't wait so long, so I go see them live on Ustream Friday mornings. Did we mention Friday?
I wonder if it was on who tweeted. Somebody tweeted us and asked if it was on iTunes.
Oh. It is on iTunes.
Well, I think he was referring to the video.
Oh, yeah, no, the video's not on iTunes. And we actually don't have plans to put this video on iTunes. We're going to keep that this one as an audio.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are going to put the Unknown Secrets, SIBO-ish secrets of internet web analysis. We're going to put that one on as a video podcast on iTunes. And he says, Chris and Charles, keep up the good work. Manny from Capture Billing.
So Manny, appreciate you tuning in.
Punch in the face to
Hit
Manny.
us back, man. Hit me on Twitter or Facebook or something. Send me a link to your site so we can check it out. And we'll show you some link love.
Daniel Buchanan, he went on like 3 different places and wrote reviews. First punch in the face, like for each review.
Combo punch in the face, man. Oh, I'm sore. I've been doing it.
Oh, yeah, really?
3 weeks.
Cool. I went jogging last night. It is so hot.
Oh yeah, it's
like
stupid hot.
it's like I went at 7:30 to 8:30, and it was really I was just pounding water to survive. And he says, you guys are awesome. Just stumbled into my website analysis for Get More PC, and it's getmorepc.com, and watched it. He was tensed up thinking that we were going to rip him a new one, and I'm going to switch back to what he said, but your criticism was factual and constructive. Plus, you told me where to change things and how to improve things. I know many web guys, and no one, emphasis, no one, has given me this kind of feedback for my site, which I want
for
and
free.
need. For free. I've tried to implement some of the changes, so thank you guys so much. By the way, I looked at your website. It does look better.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's using a tool for mobile. He's got a mobile plug-in. I tried it out last night. It's not going to work for some of our situations, but we may be able to tweak it.
Yeah.
Wow. Shout out or punch in the face to Daniel.
I still don't understand the chili peppers, though, but that's another topic.
And he has a video, like a kind of almost a spoof commercial, so he's got a little cheesy on his homepage. You guys should go check it out. It's kind of good. So hopefully we'll get him some good information there. And actually, that's my Facebook entry of me asking him. Oh, here we go. Dean Calhoun on Facebook. This is really cool. He says, importance of having a well-structured site became greater with today's changes to Google sites, site links. And he pulled up his, and he said that he pulled up his, and that it took up a bunch of screen space, so that's great. But his snippets needed some work, so he's going to work on those. I'm going to glance at some of those. I Googled him. It's App Agility Solutions. Training, App Agility Solutions seminar. Some of this may be dependent on my screen size, actually. Company history, that makes sense. I like this one, though. Save time and expensive. I guess should be save time
and expensive. Yeah.
On expensive travel. It's because it's missing the rest of the sentence. Meeting your occupational goals. That's not too bad. Maybe he's already tweaked them, and they've been updated. I pulled up ours. And I was really surprised that a lot of our blogs, so if you Google eWebStyle, in our site links, we've got a lot of blog entries. So, we do some technical work, some IT technical work around Houston. So whenever I bump into a problem that takes a little more than usual to actually find the solution, when I finally find the solution, I make a blog entry. And so we've got things like mswinsock.winsec.asp is one of our main links, and that's just frankly a stupid blog entry from a long time ago.
Yep.
I don't know what the algorithm is. I would suggest that they should change it.
Yeah, or either that or we figure it out and then make changes.
Make changes to us, yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it's a way. We have they only listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 site links.
Right.
But we definitely have more than 6 pages.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So we just have to figure out what format or what formula they're using to determine which pages will be listed as site links.
I wonder if it's related. It could be related to traffic, right? Like which one gets more links
the most
or
traffic.
whatever. But I don't know. Or even search position based on keyword value or something. I don't know. All right.
It's called something or another.
Something or another thingy-mabob that causes the juxtaposition of the SERPs.
Yeah, what he said.
All right, let's get the Geno time limit. Ding! Let's get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast.
So I pulled up an article. Wow. And I don't have where I got it from. Okay, I'll post this on Facebook.
Well, usually the title, they can search the title, they'll be able to find it.
Yeah. But anyway, the article was about video marketing. I wanted to talk about video marketing today because it's needed.
Yep.
It's necessary. And it's really the growing trend, not just on the web, but mobile as well. And so some of these tips can help you in both situations. And so we'll kind of go through the tips and take it from there. One of the main tips was make your title count.
Yeah.
We was talking about the titles earlier. And so the title, just like on a website, the video title itself is definitely one of the most important places, which is why it's tip number 1, for your keyword.
Let's talk about, what are the components of a good title for a video?
Well, I think number 1, you should describe the video if you can, right? And make sure that you have the right keyword in that title if possible. You don't want to sound cheesy and have a description, a super long description full of keywords that's really not reflective of the video.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's one. The other is, if you really need to target multiple keywords, you probably should have multiple videos.
Exactly.
Even if that's segmenting that, because then you're going to get those titles and have some value in that. So, because what happens is what's called keyword dilution. If you put your keyword first and then you put a bunch of other keywords, and we saw a website the other day that had that challenge where I think it's the new client, right? With the shelving guy.
Yeah.
He had 4 or 5 keywords in his title, and the challenge is that he had lots of pages. If he had just targeted one page towards one keyword and another page towards another keyword,
he was definitely diluting his title.
Yep.
So we'll fix that for him. He did say new client, so we'll get him right here. Punch in the face to you.
I posted hold on to your hat. White hat, of course. Did you see that entry? I was like, we just gotta. That's what the picture. That's why you found my soup on your desk, because I took a picture of the soup and the beer, saying late lunch and a celebration. We got a new client. Hold on to your hat. White hat, of course.
Okay, now it makes sense. I was wondering why that was there when I came in.
Since I leave my coffee everywhere, you're like,
yeah, whatever. Right here. That's a great spot to sit my coffee on his desk.
Was dirtying up my desk.
Tip number 2 was provide excellent content. This one goes without saying. I think one of the reasons my videos have been successful.
I always have a question. I got to ask this question. When it goes without saying,
why do you say?
Why do we always say it? It's a great question.
That's a phenomenal question. Well, because it doesn't go without saying for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah,
it should. Really, it's an implied should go without saying.
I'll tag it with that. It should go without saying. But, have good content. If the video is boring, I'll stop watching. I won't share it. As a matter of fact, I'll thumbs down it.
Yeah.
Won't like it. Won't plus it, won't do anything. So definitely put out some good content that's useful and everything.
And engaging.
Yeah. Like, matter of fact, one of the things they said was take some time to think about your viewer. Make sure that they'll find what you're offering valuable. Figure out what you can teach them, and position yourself as an expert if you are an expert. And so things like that create value for your video and make people want to watch them and make people want to share.
Making sure we're still live.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Third tip was include the URL in your video. I think that's a great tip.
Frankly, something I hadn't thought of.
Yeah, that's a great tip. Show the URL, especially if the video is being transcribed or, now they're indexing videos.
Well, I'm also thinking because of the tools that you get with YouTube that you can have text in it, you got to believe that text is indexable.
Exactly.
And so I think there's a lot of value in that.
Mm-hmm. Tip 4 was take advantage of videos branding opportunities, which is something I'm gonna start doing moving forward.
Right.
It might as well, just like TV. If you're watching a TV show, usually lower right corner, upper left corner, there's a logo, and it's there throughout the entire.
Yep.
So there's branding.
Yep.
So take advantage of those branding opportunities when using video.
Well, and you've pointed that out with our podcast. I kind of like to shift it around so that when you look at a whole screen of all our podcasts, it's not the same background, and I like that change. And now we're actually doing at least every other podcast in front of the logo, eWebStyle logo. So that's a great point, branding.
Let's see, the next one is always provide an HTML link. And I think this is referring to the video descriptions. You know, you can add a description. Usually it's a text box, and you can include HTML there. And so the first text should be a link. It's usually to a place where that video is embedded in.
Right.
You know, so for example, on all my videos, I should go back and put a link to the page.
Which
on
list
the
is
SEO
that
Rapper site.
The list, the should list that may or may not get done over the next.
No, this is that should list that will get done, just not no time soon.
And it may be a random day that I just go, let me do that right now.
Yeah.
That's a good list to be on because it actually isn't the
you
list
will
that's
get
never
done
going to get done.
Eventually, let's see here. Some of the other things they had on here was tell a story, keep people engaged with the videos, ask questions and answer them.
Yeah.
Which is what I like.
Yeah.
I mean, because usually people searching, especially YouTube, they're looking for how to do stuff. And so usually if you ask that questions and it's indexed, then they may be searching for that question.
Yep.
So that'll help them find it. And then if you answer it, then you gain a new fan, a new follower, a new sharing opportunity. So definitely.
It's one of, we believe that that Google is probably transcribing and indexing the video to some degree, maybe the first little bit. So instead of having, say, the title of your video be the question and then the video be the answer, you really should ask the question. In fact, follow Matt Cutz's guideline. If you watch Matt Cutz's videos, he always asks the question in the beginning and then proceeds to answer it. So there's a lot of value in doing that.
Yeah, one of the last two were the additional video opportunities. And so it's not necessarily always, getting in front of the camera, filming yourself, but, you can also do screen captures, things like that, and create video using different desktop presentations and include those, with filming yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot of software out there, and a couple of ways that we'll use that software is, for instance, if I've got a remote programmer and I'm having a hard time explaining to the programmer exactly what the issue is, I'll actually set up a mic and do a screen capture of the area and say, look, when I do this, this happens. When I do this, this happens. It's supposed to be the other way around or whatever. And I send that video. It's very easy. You can use that same software to actually, maybe even something dumb like teach people how to navigate. I mean, literally, if you don't have a video on your homepage, which we don't, and it's, shame on us for that, then make a video of your homepage saying, you can find this here, you can find this here, welcome to, and you don't say welcome to eWebStyle, you welcome to Internet Marketing Specialist Heaven or whatever it is.
Yeah, I know. Right in my head, just angels.
You have found the divine source of internet marketing.
Sunbeams and everything.
So again, the start of your video should be keyword, and they open up. And then you could show other competitors in the purgatory of internet marketing. This is just going way. I don't even. Yeah. That's what's up. For anyone who hasn't had a drink in a while.
Close with a drink. Yes.
So just, that's a good video actually to put on your website. Yeah. Some people may watch it. It may be useful, and it may actually explain, maybe if you have a poorly designed website, it actually would be really valuable because you'd be telling them where things were.
Well, especially if this is an e-com site. You got tons of categories, tons of products, kind of like our new client. Yeah. Right? It may be very beneficial to them just to show people how to navigate through the site and find what they're looking for.
And, here's the search button. That it's something simple. A video doesn't have to be a big production. Don't get hung up and not make a video because you're thinking of a big production. Put together a webcam. A lot of you have seen the video on this Ustream. It's not, it's not HD. In case you were wondering, it's not your computer. It's actually our camera. So have a video and understand that you can put together a video pretty easily in a number of different ways.
Mm-hmm. So that's it for that article.
That's it?
Oh, I got some blank stare though.
All right, blank stare.
That was pretty good. That was good. Blank stare.
That was worth a drink. That's what's up.
So blank stare at HP.
Yeah.
Right? And so, they went and spent like $1.2 billion and bought the Palm company and software and everything for the different web OSs. And then they launched Touchpad, not even a full 2 months.
Right.
They're falling back, scratch everything, we want to sell it.
Wow.
And so, blank stare HP, like, come on. Like, matter of fact, 49 days it's been active in the market.
Wow. Man, that must have had just horrible performance.
I think it was that. I think Google's acquisition of Motorola had a lot to do with it. And I read an article earlier today that talked about how 4 out of 5 computers are Macs, 4 out of 5 tablets are iPads. And so HP is probably like, you know what? Apple, you won.
Yeah. We don't want to go up against that.
Yeah, let's try to cash out.
4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which makes sense. I mean,
they're killing it. They're getting like 8.5 or 3.5 million iPad sales a quarter, and Android tabs are selling for 100,000.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Stupid.
Good stuff. Anything else? Is there anything else we want?
That's it. I have some SEO Rapper news. I can drop that.
Oh yeah.
CMS's video coming soon. Shout out to my boy Sal. We just did the Coding Back remix last night.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be nuts when we do the video for that.
That's been a long time coming, right?
That's been like 3 years. We were looking at the lyrics like, wow, we sat there and had to remix the song
That's changed.
We
That's changed.
Yeah. And so, literally, he had a bar where he mentioned IE7.
You're right.
Yeah, so we're on IE9 now, right? So we had to change that. I'll be in Chicago in September, Mobile Marketing University. So y'all tag me. I'll check in, and then if you're there, come holler at me.
You doing a performance there?
Yeah.
And any training? I know sometimes you do training or.
No, I won't be doing any training or speaking this time. But I did write something custom for mobile marketing.
Oh, cool.
So the new song coming. So we're gonna close out the year hard.
Cool. Working it.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, we like it when you stalk us. You guys have made us the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes. The way you stalk us is facebook.com/ewebstyle,
Yep.
twitter.com/ewebstyle, youtube.com/
ewebstyle.
And you can send us an email, podcast at e-webstyle or
.com.
both of them. And do not forget, we do have a SEVO website analysis podcast. That's a decent title.
SEVO web. Yeah, there you go.
And so you can find those on our YouTube channel and also on our Ustream, one of our Ustream channels. So you just kind of poke around and you'll find those.
Yes, it's a drop down to the left that says you can choose the channel.
Oh, okay.
And you just choose SEVO.
Cool. Until the next podcast, which will be at 9:15 Central Standard Time next Friday.
Yeah, maybe. 9:15-ish.
Ish. We enjoy having you guys. We'll see you next time. Until then, my name's Chris Burris.
Charles Lewis.
Bye-bye for now. Hopefully we got stuff.
Well, it looked like the one in the background was still going.
Yeah, that's the one that...
Okay.